Happy Halloween. I've seen the movie Netflix doesn't want you to see in theaters, in a theater, and it was glorious. You could even say Netflix brought my family together, because their terrible distribution literally drove me over 2 hours away into seeing this with my cousin. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is an absolute spectacle, and it sickens me the way so many people will never be able to experience it in a theater, the way it was meant to be seen. It's beautifully shot, features some of the best costumes, production design, I don't have makeup, but of the entire year, and it tells a deeply human story that left me feeling very moved by the end. So, let me regale you with why Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is one of the best movies of the year so far. Del Toro doing Frankenstein reminds me of Robert Eggers doing Nosferatu. They're both perfect fits for their source material. And of course Del Toro does the source material justice here. The production design, costumes, makeup, and attention to period detail here are immaculate. In every frame of this, you could just tell there was a tremendous level of care and reverence and passion put towards telling this story. And the cinematography? Waiter, more snow in horror movies, please.
It always looks good.
There's a shot of the monster just in the snowy horizon as the sun is setting. That is just... damn. And the score here is just... oh my god! Alexandre Desplat really got inside the monster. The score might as well be screaming Frankenstein at you with every single little note. The performances feel ripped right out of the novel. Oscar Isaac captures the egotistical nature of Victor Frankenstein and his narcissism so beautifully that I could make poetry about it. Wait, this is my poem about Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein in Frankenstein. Oscar Isaac playing Victor, very evil pain inflictor. You disappoint the average awards predictor. But you are still very good. You played the role the way you should, showing that Victor Frankenstein is someone you understood. What rhymes with Frankenstein? Free Palestine? Yeah, Free Palestine! If I could personally nominate you, I would. There's a lot of good performances this year. I think the performance in the movie of Hammerstein might be better. I especially love the scene early on where he's demonstrating his theories at the college. He delivers his lines with this fury and anger and need for attention that just fit like a puzzle piece. Also, I find it kind of funny that the next Del Toro movie that Oscar Isaac is working on is called Fury, but okay, that's off topic. I felt like I was watching a Star Wars YouTuber ranting, and I mean that as a compliment. Like, you know how Star Wars YouTubers are. You can see his passion for science, but also his ego. Like I said, it's like poetry sort of, they rhyme. They don't make him likable, but he's still very engaging to watch on the screen, to the point that he commands the first act of the film narratively on his own. That said, Oscar Isaac and this first act aren't the highlight here. It feels insane to me that Frankenstein's monster was originally supposed to be played by Andrew Garfield in this, because I can't think of a single person who would have played the monster better than Jacob Elordi does. Wait, maybe Willem Dafoe's Frankenstein's monster and Poor Things was better. I'll get back to that, believe me. Once Act 2 kicks in and we start seeing the creature's tale, this movie becomes something pretty special. It truly becomes something else. Just like the date this is day 2 of recording. Elordi matches the intensity of the monster with this tremendous level of humanity. He feels ripped right out of the novel's pages here. It's unbelievable. This is a Heath Ledger as the Joker level casting, and I mean that. His physicality underneath all the makeup is unbelievably impressive. He commands every scene he's in, and has by far the best performance of the entire film, maybe even one of the best of the decade so far. I found watching the monster find the good in humanity and will to keep living very moving. I especially love the scene where he asks Victor for dynamite and just lights it right beside him and just says to him,
"Run."
The red flare of the dynamite contrasted by the snowy backdrop just looks so cool. It's so badass, but it's also a bit heartbreaking seeing this man who never asked to be born, begging to simply be unmade so he could stop feeling so alone. His inherent loneliness made his character someone I really cared about. The ending and final shot of this felt so fitting and bittersweet. I've seen people saying that this feels like just Del Toro doing his usual, but for Frankenstein, and you know what? I agree. He's doing his usual because it suits Frankenstein perfectly. Yeah, it's a little long, but his fascination with the perspective of creatures, his attention to detail in cinematography, production design, costumes, and makeup, he feels like the perfect person to be telling this story. Yeah, he's not going out of his comfort zone too much, but I feel like the elements here in Frankenstein are his comfort zone for a reason. He knows how to handle stories like Frankenstein very well, so of course he handles a literal adaptation of Frankenstein very well. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is a spectacle to behold on the big screen, and there's a reason I am so pissed. So many people are going to be confined to watching it super compressed on a small, teeny tiny screen on Netflix. I give Frankenstein 9 burgers out of 10. If you're lucky enough to be able to see this in a theater, I implore you to do so. And if you're unable to see it in a theater, which I assume will be most of you, it still tells a very moving story with some excellent performances. I absolutely believe this will be an awards player come award season. Be prepped to watch me be vindicated when it sweeps through the technical categories. Go see Del Toro's Frankenstein in theaters now, or when it hits Netflix November 7th. Now, there's just one thing left I have to address. Was Jacob Elordi's monster better than Willem Dafoe's monster in Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things? I still don't know. I'll have to think about it. I'll tell y'all when I review Yorgos Lanthimos' new movie, Bugonia, very soon. If you like Alien Hunters, subscribe because they'll be present in my next bergview methinks. By the way, one last little side note, the only reason Frankenstein got a teeny tiny theatrical release at all is thanks to K-pop Demon Hunters of all movies. To anyone wondering, I thought K-pop Demon Hunters was good, thought the story was good enough, and the creative visuals are very much a highlight. That said, I commend this movie for making Netflix not theater phobic truly some legendary stuff to have your legacy be. That's all for me, everyone, though. Farewell, and have a nice Halloween.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock